Good morning. Welcome to Deacon Jody Daily. It's Tuesday, and it's a great day. It's kind of chilly here in Baton Rouge. I'm glad that you are joining me for this video. We continue in the first book of Samuel, and today is a wonderful reading of the choosing of David to succeed Saul as king. And then in the Gospel from Mark, it's that wonderful passage where the apostles are walking through the field and they're eating picking and eating the heads off the stalked wheat on the Sabbath, and Jesus is challenged. So let's get into it. If you like these videos, please like them and share them, and subscribe and follow as we have been asking you to do, and I appreciate all of you. So let's talk about this anointing. So what happens is the Lord tells Samuel to get your oil and then go to Bethlehem, and he puts up a little bit of a resistance by telling the Lord that Saul's going to come after him if Saul knows that he's going there to anoint another king. The Lord gives him specific instructions to say, just we're going to do a sacrifice, bring the bullock with you, and then I'll take care of everything from there. And so Samuel does that. And when he gets there, the Lord leads him to Jesse's house, and he's asking Jesse about his sons. And Samuel is looking at the appearance of the sons, and he is sure that the oldest, the strong, big son is the one. And Lord clearly says, you don't see things the way I see things. I look at the heart. So he go through all the sons, and there's no son. And he said, do you have any more? He says, oh yeah, I have the youngest. He's out tending the sheep, and we'll go get him. We're not going to have the meal until he gets here. So they go get David, and then the Lord tells Samuel, this is the one, anoint him, and he does in front of his brothers and everybody. And just a little side note, when we were in Kansas for Christmas, we went to see the movie that's out on David, and it's a cute little animated story. It's great for kids, but it talks about this jealousy of the older brothers. How can they pick this young nobody brother of ours to be the king? Anyway, it's a great story. But and I also was told today that there's also a story on Formed. If y'all know what Formed is, it's part of the Augustine Institute, and you can get on there through your parish and watch a video on David, the anointing of David, with some great commentary by Dr. Tim Gray. So this is important for a lot of reasons. Number one, it's important because of what God says, that I look at the heart, not at the outer appearance. Very important. Second, it's important because this is the beginning of the line of David that ends with Jesus, because Jesus is the fulfillment of the prophecy ultimately. And it has to begin somewhere, and it begins here in this reading. So really, what we're looking at here is the beginning of the David lineage, and then we see it at the end in the gospel where Jesus is basically referring to David and saying, you're saying that we can't eat this on the Sabbath, but don't you remember what David did when he ate the bread from the sacrifice bread, because his men were hungry and it was a Sabbath, and he basically is saying, look, David was important, but I'm his successor, and I am the one that you're waiting for in the line of David. And you see this connection with these readings tied to that one part of the Sabbath. And then Jesus makes that beautiful statement that man wasn't made for the Sabbath was made for man. So beautiful readings today, good prayer readings to pray about being selected by God because of what's in your heart. And let us make sure that what's in our heart is true to God, and that we're not worried about the outward appearances of things. And in that way, we can find our way ultimately to the Lord through our love, what's in our heart. And we find that by loving others. And that's important, because that's how they know we're Christians, by our love, that song. And so let us today, um, let us prayerfully reflect on what's in our heart, and if our heart is turned to the Lord. So you have a great day, have a wonderful day, and I'll pray for you. You pray for me. God bless.